you trying to get crazy with this scene? Don't you know I'm loco?
Well, basically in the 80s, late 80s, you know, that's where we just worried about having our car out there lifted and rims and clean and go out and just cruise around. That's our, you know, chapter, and we were improving it. But now, these guys that are coming out, Tony, George, you know, caliber 58, they're high calibers, you know.
Yeah.
So every generation just keeps outdoing the next one.
What's happening, everybody? This is Bobby Ruiz, a.k.a. Bobby Tribal, along with Johnny B. Good, here at the lower left, 17th and Island, San Diego, California. And today we've got one of San Diego's most iconic OG car clubs in the house. These dudes represent San Diego harder than most. Some of the baddest cars in San Diego have come out of this club. They got real good phones too. Real good dudes. I've known these dudes for a long time. Compa George here is his car was in the first Tribal video, VHS. Yeah. But Klique Car Club, the legendary San Diego iconic. We got Compa George.
Thank you.
Tone, SD Tone, known for all kinds of other shit.
Crazy things.
And we got Silent George. But welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks for coming. And the reason that, and I think I explained this a little earlier, is that I think, you know, obviously to talk about the club and the history of the club and where you guys are at, but just I think it's important for people to know maybe some things that a lot of people don't know about the club, maybe the club's history, maybe some other things you guys are into, like maybe some other hobbies and what you guys do for a living. Because people trip out. You know, there's guys out there that are like, man, how the hell do these dudes afford these $150,000, $200,000 cars? You know, and I know you guys are out there busting your ass too. You know, there's dudes out there putting in a lot of work, and it's not easy, you know, having this hobby. But obviously, let's start with a little history. Tell us a little bit about Klique, where it came from, how it started in San Diego, and all that.
Well, for me, Bobby, you know, it started when I was in high school, you know, and I was introduced to the club from a friend of mine, you know, Billy. And he told me, hey, are you interested in joining a club, you know, lowrider club? Because I had a 63 hardtop back then in Point Loma High. And I go, yeah, I want to check it out. Because they used to just hang out right here in Chicano Park. And I go, yeah. So I went over there, and that's where I started meeting the guys from Klique. And from there, just started, you know, motivating.
What year do you think that was?
That was in 82.
Yeah.
And from there,
it's about the same year that I got into a group. Was that the same year in 82?
Yeah.
What about, had Klique been around since then? What's the history on Klique in San Diego?
Well, I'm the second chapter. That was the first chapter that was there, and I really didn't meet with them because I was always in Point Loma, and then graduated into coming into Logan, so I started hanging out with them. But being the second chapter, just kind of grew in me and kind of started making the foundation.
You mean the second generation of Klique?
Klique, yeah.
So Klique had already been in San Diego since
the 70s somewhere.
They've been in San Diego since the 70s. I think I read that Klique actually started in 64 in LA, right?
Yeah. San Diego 74.
Yeah, that's what they're... 64? There's always been a debate.
74.
74?
It's been a debate.
The LA chapter started in 74?
No, San Diego.
San Diego started in 74, and then LA, I think, started in 64.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Unless, you know...
But there's always been a debate between East LA and us about who's the mother chapter, and they're saying it's up there, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Klique's just Klique.
Yeah.
It's a family.
That's right. So you've been in since then?
Yes.
Badass. And what do you have now? What I know obviously you had a beautiful car, but you want to talk about your car a little bit? And
No, it's just simple 63 rack talk.
clean as fuck. It's clean.
Well, you should know. You should know.
Yeah.
We had it for your tribal opening.
George has always supported and been around since like I said, the early 90s with the tribal videos and stuff like that. So but you were saying something about the quality of your cars and how the generations keep kind of upping
changing
the previous generation.
Yeah. Well, basically in the 80s, late 80s, that's where we just worried about having our car out there lifted and rims and clean and go out and just cruise around. That's our, chapter, and we're improving it. But now these guys that are coming out, Tony, George, caliber 58, they're high calibers,
Yeah.
So every generation just keeps outdoing the next one. So
I tell you what, though, looking at El Maton, and where that car just came out just recently, like a couple weeks ago, I have no idea how you're gonna outdo that. Like, I don't know what else can be done to a 58 rag or that these dudes haven't already done, and at the same time keeping it classy.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Every couple of years, there's something new coming out, and it's changing.
It's gonna be interesting to see what it is, man, because I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Tone? What do you think the next shit is without giving up our top secrets?
Man, in all honesty, shit, I don't know, man. I don't know if they can top that, to be honest with you.
Right.
He's right up there with 58 caliber. The amount of time and the quality of the build is just it speaks for itself. Pictures do not do that car justice. It's kind of like when you see 58 caliber for the first time.
Yeah.
You start to notice all the detail and everything that went into it. It's not like something that you flip overnight type shit. It what 5-year build?
5 years.
5 years to build that thing, and it shows.
Yeah, and I know that it's a struggle. It's a passion. It's you get frustrated, just trying to wait for the car to get finished and then find parts and wait on builders and painters and everything.
Well, trying to get it perfect.
Yeah.
And if you look at that car, it's damn near perfect. It is perfect. Yeah. It's right there. I mean, from the framework, suspension, everything that's been done to that car, there was a lot of thought and the process. It shows. It's nice, man.
The thing is, he's always been on it. George has always been like from one step, the next step, day in, day out. And I'm sure he was always thinking and sleeping, thinking about what's the next step, about how to put something together, figure out, how we always run into glitches, getting parts, getting this detail down, especially modifications. Everybody knows about how hard they are, but you got to figure them out. And I know that he was always constantly thinking about how to modify something to make it look original. And you think about that day and night until you get it precise and perfect. So,
well, he came out of his last car, which was pretty famous car too, was a 64. Mm-hmm. And that we used for a tribal photo shoot too, but that 64 was no joke either. That was a bad motherfucker too. Mm-hmm. But congratulations, George.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful car, and I'm sure you've only shown it once, but anybody who's out there that's knows anything about the scene or the lowrider scene international, this will be one that you will see, notice, and get to know real soon. Hopefully this summer. So, what are you working on, Tone?
Currently I'm working on a 64 hardtop, regular Impala. It's not the SS. Doing some modifications to it just to make it a little different.
I like that.
Another toy.
But if I can touch back on what we were talking about with George's car, and the thing that I don't think people realize is the time that you take from normal everyday life, your weekends, just fucking phone conversation, whatever it is, there's a lot involved in building something like that. I know he was up in LA like every other weekend getting shit, and he was so involved with that build that it came out the way it came out because he was that involved, down to the fucking radiator. He didn't want just regular bullshit that was on that car, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything that went into that was well thought out, and it took all of that 5 years. He was on it, dude. Mm-hmm. And imagine to do something like that, and for you to do something to every week and make sure that it gets pushed forward to the next step, for it to take 5 years, that says a lot.
Yeah,
I think, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying?
It absolutely does. I think, and I was talking to Compa about this, is people don't know how hard you work, not just on the car, but how much dedication and work, like, you're devoting not just your time, but a lot of your feria into these cars. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? People, like, how do you afford $150,000-$200,000 build? And I know, looking at you guys, because I know you guys bust your asses out there. You've got jobs and construction jobs, and you guys are out there doing your thing because you love this game. You love the hobby of it, So what else are the Klickers into besides just the lowriders and cars? Like, what do you guys get into when you're not doing car stuff?
Get drunk.
Hell yeah.
We all have our own, personal hobbies and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like Tony does plumbing, so he's, constantly working on his house also. I'm working on my house. So it just keeps us involved in the family thing, because Klique is a family about, who we are. Yeah. It's not like andamos de desmadrosos, We have responsibilities. If we don't take care of our responsibilities, we can't take care of our cars.
Yeah.
We love our cars. We love our life. We work hard, and we put our money into our car, and it shows. And we give it pride, because we work our asses off to build something beautiful. And it's not only for us, but for people to enjoy something classic. You see an old car, lifted, original, modified, but it's a lowrider, and it's a Mexican tradition.
Yeah.
That, that's what I fell in love with personally. And it just, every generation builds it up to something much more beautiful. And, Maton 58 has
raised the bar.
Raised the bar.
If I can touch on that, I like to add to what he just said. Because looking at Compa's car, it's like a timeless classic. It's something that came out in the 90s, and you can literally jump in that car right now as it sits, jump in that motherfucker, and it any other car from our club wouldn't take anything away from it. It's a timeless classic.
For sure.
That thing, you can put it in the garage, let it sit for fucking another 10 years, and it'll come out and still,
hold its own.
Yeah. And I think that with what he built from the beginning to what we have now, we've followed that same criteria, that same build. Like, say for instance, George's car. I think George's car could do the same thing. You put that thing away for 20 years, and it's not going to be outdated, because it's not custom 100%. There is custom stuff to it, but it just looks
classy,
really classy, and it still looks like an Impala. It's not, there isn't a bunch of shit engraved and just all kinds of weird shit done to it.
Yeah. And
it's not a trendy car. You get what I'm saying? It's not following any trend other than being a lowrider. And I think that with our club, I think that's the standard. Is what I've always talked to Compa George about, is that we want to follow that standard. And I do the same thing, with my stuff. Even your cars, same shit. It's like, you look at these cars, and they're no different from when they were built back then. Only slight modifications, but they're not overdone, and they look very classy, I think.
Yeah.
And that's a
Dressed up
standard that we
nice.
should follow. And
You guys have continued. I mean, even with George's 64 and 58 caliber, when that car came out, I'll go as far as to say when that car was released, that was the sickest build ever out of San Diego. I pay attention. That's just my opinion, and that's just how I feel. And everybody's entitled to their own. But that car was done. He changed the game. Like that fucking car. What Ryan did with that car was like, holy fuck! Like I couldn't believe it when I seen it at the Torres show for the first time and walked around that car. It blew my mind. Like it was extremely classy. It was a classy build, and that raised the bar. For I think 58s for one, but San Diego for sure, and then obviously Klique, and now you guys did it again with George, and I know you guys have a couple other things in the works. I know there's some things out there, but how many if you want how many cars you guys think you have that are like full show right now? That I know you guys just got back from Arizona and not everybody went, but
Like seven
cars.
Seven cars right
but I know you have high standards also.
Yeah.
So you have street cars, and then you have the full show cars.
Right.
We got 557 racks right now. Ready to come on.
Five?
San Diego. 557.
557s, rags.
Racks.
And then the 58s, you guys have hard tops
Yeah.
and
Three
the
racks. 358 racks.
358 rags, and then just
And the
Chewy's
hard
hard top.
top. 58. Beautiful 58.
Yeah.
That 58 hard top, man.
Yeah.
the black one.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's bad.
When you see that fucker in person, though, man, it's
Puppet shit is real sick too.
Yeah.
yeah. Dude,
You guys get down, man. Like I said, like you guys are iconic, and you always bring the heat from San Diego. So what are your favorite shows? Like what shows do you guys like to do, even if it's just to go kick back, and how important are shows to you guys? And obviously Chicano Park has been so iconic, and for San Diego, that's always been the show where people bust their cars out. People build their cars for 5-10 years, and I think not as much lately in the past 5 years or whatever, because it's gotten so big, because it's easy to get lost in there with so many cars. But what are your favorite shows, and what do you guys think of the whole car show scene?
Personally, for me, Chicano Park is number one, because it's something that you don't have to pay to get in for, the audience and stuff. It's a community thing, and it also brings all the car clubs together as a unity.
I agree.
So that's where we started. That's where I started.
Me too.
And that's home. That's home.
I agree. I agree with that. For me, it was when I was in high school, it was building the car to be able to park. And I remember in '82 when we could take the cars, and Carlos was there. You were probably right there. The first time I took my Thunderbird there, the '64.
Mm-hmm.
You could have, it was like room for 2 more cars on the side of me. You had all this space and people cruising around, and the cars were spaced out real nicely, and everything was visible, and you could post up with a blanket on the grass, and it was a beautiful thing. Now, try to put a blanket down, it gets fucking stampeded.
Because back in the day, you know how it was, Bobby?
Yeah.
We can do carne asada, had a whole thing,
Yep.
had the car show, and it was a backyard car show.
Yep.
That's what it was. And that's why that's number one in my standards of what a car show should be.
Yeah.
For the community.
Yeah. I agree, dude. It's a beautiful thing, and that show, I think, really put San Diego, the whole car club scene, on the map.
Right.
It's that everybody that knows anything about lowrider culture, it's always, especially here in San Diego, it's the Chicano Park show. And now it's gotten where a lot of people from LA have a lot of respect for that show, because people come to San Diego and the vibe is different.
Mm-hmm.
People are different. There could be, dude, how many people you think were at the last Chicano Park show?
It was overfilled. You can.
Dude, 20,000, something like throughout the day, at least 20,000 people or more. Like just crazy amounts of people. and very minimal. If any violence, it would happen at the end of the day. A couple homeboys were drunk and somebody did some pendejada or something. But for the most part, it's a peaceful, good show where everybody gets along. And even if, people show, except for those viejitos, dude, show up
Too loud and drunk.
That's like 6:37 in the morning, and those dudes will show up
Holy shit.
fucking drunk with their blowhorns out.
Yeah, I don't know that.
But that's part of history.
That's right, dude.
That's
You're
part of
expecting
history.
it. As soon as you
Yeah.
hear them, you know the viejitos
Yeah.
showed up. 'Cause
Yeah.
here they come.
To
But
wake up the world.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I think for me, it's like one of the best feelings that I get now that I think of it, and I bet you guys will say the same, is that morning. The morning of
Oh.
Chicano Park Day.
Early.
In the morning. Everybody's just getting set up. The
Yeah.
cars are kind of set up. You're
Cuatro milpas.
yeah, and you're seeing people, and you're seeing the dudes that are breaking out their cars or what they did, and you're walking, and there's like hundreds of your friends.
Yeah, and that's the best part.
And dudes
Bobby.
you haven't seen all year.
And you just
You
like,
say, "Hey, what's
hey,
up? Yeah, how you been?
know,
Like, what's-
reunite
and
again."
Yeah, and it's like you haven't skipped a beat. Like that, the morning of Chicano Park Day, and the other beautiful part of that is it ain't crowded,
In the morning.
and just the people that are there with their cars setting up.
just saying hi to
Just
them.
saying hi and
hey,
checking out the
catching
car.
up.
Yeah, it's the best time to look at the cars and catch up. And fuck, dude, who knows? I know this year was canceled again, and who knows when we'll get another one, But
Yeah, that's the hard part about it.
so, what about the Klique show? When is that going to happen?
Not really yet.
Huh? I mean, I think might be a good time. We'll talk about that, George. He's a
he's the one that's gonna have to pull the trigger on that. He's gonna have to figure out where.
we've already talked about it, George. Like we've kind of had little conversations.
Yeah.
Like you never know. Like I know you guys real well, just especially this fool right here.
Tony.
What's that?
That would be you, Tony. You're the fool.
Nah, but
Nah.
like I said, I've always had a lot of respect for you guys. So what do you think? What do you think? Lowriding. Here's a big question, I guess. So, do you think lowriding is bigger than it's ever been? And if so, what do you think about that?
The competition's harder right now.
Yeah.
The competition's harder. But what about the scene? Well, obviously, because people like you keep fucking moving the bar. you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. But you know what you have to do to be able to make that mark and compete, and you did it, and you went beyond that, and that's the beauty of it. But I mean, the scene in general, like people out there. We'll talk about this later. What the prices of cars, where they're at now, compared to like what compa and me were paying back then. $2,000, you were in the
Right.
game.
Yeah.
Hydraulics, wheels, paint, everything's killing
go.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cruising. But like just the scene in general. Like, do you think it's bigger than it's you probably compa would know more about that. You think it's bigger than it's ever been?
It's much bigger. It's there you're getting to $100,000 cars now. Like you just said, you and I, when we got our car, it was like,
Couple
3,000,
grand,
4,000, and spend another, 5,000 and we're done.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like frame off, re-candy paint and stuff, interior, everything gets done differently now. Hydraulics are completely different.
Yeah.
So you're talking, $100,000.
But what about the scene? What do you think, Tone?
I guess
scene.
you have
and
to,
you and I have had conversations about this because we're kind of like me. I got the old man series. I think I'm
So
just
that
like
would
maybe
be-
I'm
yeah,
just
I mean-
a little bit sour because I see shit that kind of I don't not really feeling, but that's just my thing, But what do you think?
I personally think that there's so many different genres now as far as to what lowriding is, because you have it's not only just one scene. But it's multiple scenes as far as like you have your hoppers, you have the cruises, you have your show guys, and then you have fucking streetcars or whatever, however you want to put them. And I think it's becoming kind of like a trend, and they're starting to incorporate a lot of different shit into it. I think it's pretty big, but it's almost kind of to the point where it's trendy now and shit, and it's kind of not annoying, but there's a lot of new people.
Bro, it's kind of annoying.
It's a fucking annoying.
It gets annoying sometimes.
Yeah, well, there's way too many people trying to claim fame and not actually putting in the work that we know what really is lowriding. You get what I'm saying? So now there's these high-end or these dudes that come in and buy like big shit, and now all of a sudden these guys are fucking, you know. That's the way I see it. That's how I feel about it. I think when you're in it for so long and you've put in the work and you know what it takes to build a car, your perspective and it just changes when you see these new guys, because it's not the same shit, you know?
Right.
You got all these new dudes like trying to call shots and fucking try to act like they've been, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or guys that all of a sudden are in their 40s or 50s.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden they're lowriders and they show up just like homeboys, and there's like, hey, wait a minute. Yeah. Where were you?
Where the fuck did you come from?
Yeah. Exactly, you know, because a lot of guys think that they can just buy a lowrider and they're in the game.
Yeah. Right.
No, you know what? You got to start from scratch.
Yeah.
You know, I buy a junkyard car, you build it. You go out to Pomona, buy parts, go to the car shop, figure out how to get parts. And then figure out, you got to put them together. You got to put the car together yourself. You got to get dirty like George does, Tony does. We all are the guys that put the car together. We don't just buy the car, put it in a shop, and have it built. Yeah. No, we're grinders. We work for our money. We build our car ourselves. Yeah. That's how it was.
So, and now I think there's, I don't know if I call it a saturation, but I don't know. It's just, I personally, we're and I know I'm not just speaking for myself here, but there's a lot of people that are fans of maybe a little more smaller cruises, a little more personalized picnics and things like that, because I think things have gotten a little bit overwhelming, I guess.
I think what really kind of fucked it up was social media. Yeah. It started off as a good thing, and it was healthy because it was people that were actually involved, but now they're having all these cruises, and it's like I said earlier, it's kind of like a trend now to where anybody can show up, and not by anybody. I don't mean just like anybody, but what I mean is like there's outsiders now, and they're claiming that, and that's what I meant when I said they're trying to incorporate.
You mean spectators?
Not the spectators. Yeah, well, spectators also, but now they're trying to incorporate all this other weird shit into lowriding, and it's not lowriding. Because out of everybody in this room, Johnny, me, yourself, Compa, and George, we all know what it takes to be a lowrider. George has had a car from the beginning. Compa George has been, you know what I mean? We all built shit. I started off with a G-Body. Right. You know? And I don't think these people understand that, and they call certain shit lowriding. Like, it's like, it kind of gets
watered
irritating.
Down.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's irritating because, no, man, we know what the fuck lowriding is. Yeah. Versus all of a sudden these little kids pull up fucking in Dickies and fucking Chuck Taylors or whatever, and with Lokes on. It's
like a costume party.
Exactly.
For them.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what the discussion that you and I've had and people have brought up to me is a lot of fronting and stuff that happens out there. But so I don't know who could answer this, but what does it take to have a Klique car? What does it take to get a plaque? George, and I know there's kids out there, and this is part of what we do this for. Like, you want to inspire people. Like, there might be somebody out there, kids out there, going, fuck, one day I want to be, because Klique is one of those clubs. I want to join that club because these dudes are bringing the heat, and these dudes are one of the premier clubs in San Diego, you know? What does it take to build or to get that Klique plaque?
Your car. First it was your car.
Yeah, but what type of build? What do you have to? What quality? Like what standards do you
They
have?
gotta
to
be
have?
like clean, like Shell's car, 67 like that. It's
Yeah.
clean. And then we gotta get to know you for a couple of months. And then, like I told people, we're not building a fucking, how you say that, like a army. If you come correct, it's like a lawyer comes, hey, I want to be with Klique. The rules can be break for the best for the club. If the guy comes on 57, 59, come on, enjoy it. If a kid comes, yeah, I'm going to be on 58 or 59 or 57. Hey, get back in the line, homie. When you got your car ready, come back to the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Straight up like that. Because it is a family club, but also it's all about the cars, too.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
it takes.
But I know you guys have real high standards because I've seen some cars that's like, I look at the car, it looks okay, and they're like, nope, he's not ready for a plaque, and that's commendable.
Yeah.
That's respectable, and that's quality control, and that's just keeping, the name
standards higher.
Yeah, exactly, keeping your standards up, and for people to look at the Prez, who right now is like holding that crown, like this dude right here, just like we can't shut up about.
Yeah.
George's car,
No, and that's what trips me out a lot. Like, oh, I drive my car. Ask Tony, he was right there with me. We were at Phoenix. After the show, we all got in the freeway. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
We were crossing the street.
We drove
Yeah.
fucking
We drove the
25
freeway.
minutes, dude.
It's
To
magic.
go to
I
a
mean,
cruise.
after
Right
the
after
cruise.
pulling out
and
of the show.
that's one thing. Another thing about
I
the
ride my
Clickers
shit.
is you guys drive your shit. I know
Yeah.
58 caliber does the same shit.
Yeah.
Like you guys are out there driving your cars.
Exactly.
That's a shit. So what can you say about $50,000 64 hard tops? And I think I seen one for 65,000.
Oh, okay.
No, I seen one for in the 80s. Did you
Yeah.
send me that? Like the price of Impalas now, and the
They're going up.
Bel Airs, like where they're at. Like, did you ever think that these cars were going to be worth, $60,000-$70,000 for hard tops?
Not for hard tops.
But you and I remember,
Yeah.
that back in the day, the rag tops were kind of like sick. No one really was tripping on
They
the
were
rag
like
tops. People didn't
diamond.
really.
They were kind of like here and there all the
Yeah,
time.
but people weren't hot for them.
No.
People wanted the hard tops.
Exactly.
My personal thing is, I love hard tops too. I've got a convertible. I'm not saying that just because I don't have one, but I like hard tops. I like the way a bubble top sits. I like the 58 hard top, that roof line, the way it slants back. I like the little creases on the top of a 63.
Right in the back.
There's some fucking styling that went into some hard tops.
Yeah.
I think, this is my personal opinion, is because of the value of a rag, people think that they automatically look better. I think they all look good. You know what I mean? I just think, but obviously the money cars are the rag tops because they're rare and because, that's the hot
The
shit.
summer
and
car.
it's expensive, and obviously it's a convertible. You can put the top down and cruise. I love convertibles too, but the styling of a hardtop is always fucking badass too. So I think in the future, or even maybe the very near futures, the prices might get a little closer. Maybe.
With the hard tops and the
Yeah.
rags.
But I think the 58 and the 59 rag will always be king.
Fuck yeah.
Always be king. Those two cars will always. Why? Why? What do you think?
The 63 rack top was out there first. They're catching up to
But
me.
then again-
but then unfortunately they surpassed me.
But then again, the 59 back in the day, not everybody liked the 59s.
No,
Yeah,
back
cool.
then. That's what I'm
People
saying.
would look at 59s and go, "Tan feas."
I know.
Like,
I know.
it's like they weren't. That wasn't the
It
car
wasn't the
everybody
car.
wanted.
It was always the 6'4" or the 6'3".
Yeah. But now,
Now they're up there, way up there.
yeah.
Hey, Bob, we're doing the shot. You want
If you guys are forcing me,
Uh,
can I sip it or I gotta shoot it?
one? Nah, you gotta shoot that motherfucker.
Bad influences.
that
You got the big
clicks
one.
in the house. What do you
Yeah, I know.
expect?
Well, I've been here. I've been in that house a couple times. Okay.
I'm gonna take mine from the bottom. I'm not gonna put my face on it though. Promise.
Get Tony.
All right.
Tony's in the house.
That's-
That's Tony size right there.
It's the Tone.
Compa.
Compa.
Salud.
Chingue su madre.
There you go.
That was good.
But
Smooth.
that's what I think. Because here's the thing. I think the new Lamborghini, there's dudes out there that are in like cannabis industry.
Oh yeah.
There's dudes out there that grew up in our generation, maybe even dudes younger. Nah, maybe.
But Bobby.
Yeah.
Younger than you?
Nah, there might be a couple people out there.
But Bobby,
younger than me.
you think about it. You know what? You put a Lamborghini next to Maton 88.
Oh, yeah.
That's
There's
what
no competition.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. Because those cars now, the 58, 59 rag, and we'll just throw the 683 in there for you.
Yeah, can you please?
So those are the new Lamborghinis.
Exactly.
Like dudes that are in these industries that want the hottest shit, or the ball players, or whoever's spending 200,000 plus, they're going for 250. Like motherfuckers out. Oh, I know.
So when we were out there in Arizona, there was a certain individual that came and offered a substantial amount of money for his car.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he would pay cash.
Yeah.
And it's like you could buy a house with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And,
Well,
and
but then the dude's holding an icon. Like
But the thing is-
it's like selling a fucking diamond.
But the thing is, there you go again, Bobby. It's like Tony said. No, you're not. You're on the show. Like Tony said a little while ago, it's like those are the guys that have the money but have no experience on
Right.
building a car.
That's true.
They just want to come up because they know how beautiful and how luxury that car looks. And they say, oh, I have the money. I want it. But they don't know nothing about the car.
But then again, and just to be the devil's advocate, just to kind of like, it's almost like some of these people are looking at these cars like art pieces. They're collecting these cars the way that they're collecting. Somebody would collect paintings, or they would collect pieces of art or sculptures or whatever, and they want it for their collection,
Right.
their art collection, their legacy collection, their, what's it called? Fuck, just what they pass on. You know what I mean?
But the problem with that is that they have no knowledge of the car. It's a total disrespect to the car to sell it to somebody that doesn't know it, because they're going to get in it and drive it and not know anything about the hydraulics, how the system works, how the car works, the engine. Slam the doors. Have no respect for a car that somebody has put 5 years into building it.
yeah.
You know, no matter how much money they would offer George for this car, he knows it's like they will not respect this car the way I respect this car.
Mm-hmm.
So to me and any of us members, it's like, no, you're not going to buy something that I built. You know, personally for me, it's like, I'll pass it to my kids.
Yeah.
You know, it's a generation thing that stays in San Diego.
It's an heirloom.
Heirloom.
Yeah. No, that's true. I mean,
I think that may be one of the things that's ruining the game.
Yeah.
That all
People-
these
Yeah,
dudes.
because a lot of artists, a lot of musicians, stars from LA, they have the money. They can, you know, if they throw money to us or any of the members, they say, you know what, I'll give you $200,000 for your car. You kind of weigh the situation. Yeah, maybe not. You know,
depends on where you're at in your life. And
Exactly.
what your needs are and what your family's needs are, or where your priorities are at that time. But I understand 100% what you're saying. Like it's like buying a piece of you,
right.
and
It
that
is.
piece has
And
to be
it's
understood
gone.
and respected. But there are collectors out there and people out there buying cars doing exactly what you're saying. Is they don't know much about it, but they're buying it to have going back to, like I said, like people buy art pieces that are worth $1 million, 500,000, whatever, and they go into a home and they have the art with lighting, and their guests come over, they have a social gathering, look at my piece of art. But some of these dudes might be, because I know there's cars even going to Dubai. Like there's Arab guys buying cars. There's dudes obviously in Japan that are buying cars. But the dudes in Japan, those dudes will build cars, and I'll say this too, just as badass as they're building them out here. Mm-hmm. And they're taking shit even a step or two further, even sometimes. Mm-hmm. Then there's dudes that, like I said, that have, like you said, that have a lot of feria, they're buying cars. But some of these guys, you know, I would say maybe it's been their lifelong dream, and I bet you those dudes are out there like, hey, when I make a lot of feria, I'm gonna go buy me a 59 rag. Sure. I'm gonna go buy, a 63 rag. You know?
Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. Yeah,
but you know what I mean.
Next time you want to have a photo shoot, let me know. We'll do it again. We'll do it again.
We will for sure. But what I'm saying is maybe that guy was once a kid, was 15, and he was looking at these cars going, you know what? I don't want to wait fucking 5 years. I don't want to deal with painters and chromers and interiors. I got the feria right now. I want to cruise next week. Like my tío did, or like my cousin did, or like my dad did, and I want in, and I'm gonna buy my way in. But you know, there might be people out there in their defense that possibly do know. True that. But I understand what you're saying too. But I think at the end of the day, for us, not wanting to sell the cars we have, you know, unless you know there's other cars to buy or something else to do, but that's money in the bank, bro.
Right.
And our money that's sitting in the bank in these cars will always be there, and it's appreciating more than money in the bank.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is
and faster.
The thing is that, you know, those people that do have that money to buy our cars or any of those cars, appreciate it from the heart, how hard it was to build that car personally. And respect the car when they do buy something like that, you know, and you know, drive it with the respect that car deserves.
Yeah. So, where's your favorite place to cruise?
Mine?
Yeah.
Shit.
Ocean Beach.
Yeah. Nice.
Point Loma.
Hell yeah.
Sunset Cliffs.
Beautiful.
We're having that.
The Canelo fight.
Canelo fight, carne asada at my house. Klique
May
house.
8th.
May 8th.
Yeah. Well, what about you?
So,
where's your favorite place to? I know, Four Corners.
That's just when I go to the liquor store.
But I like that, George. Like, and I know the homie Zach's like that too. He likes to cruise by the beach, and he likes to cruise like
Sunset Cliffs.
Yeah. And I like that too, like just cruising by the ocean or cruising. Johnny and I live in Escondido, and sometimes just cruising around the neighborhood there, cruising through the parks. And
something simple.
Yeah, just something simple, and you know, either by yourself or with a couple other homies or whatever. Just go post up.
That's what it takes.
Yeah, beautiful.
I have a little routine.
What is that?
So I'll jump on the freeway and then I'll hit downtown, and then either I go up like by the freeway, the airport and all that shit. Once I get to downtown, and I'll hit the beach, or I'll just cruise downtown, have a couple of beers at a bar or something, and then make my way back on the streets, whatever. But I think everybody has their own shit. Yeah. I think when I've had a couple people come out with me and shit, and they enjoy it, just because. I think the more rewarding part is when people acknowledge the car. You know what I'm saying? You want to go somewhere where it's good. I mean, it's gonna attract attention anywhere, but you can't take these motherfuckers to like La Jolla because they're gonna look at you like, "What the fuck's this asshole doing here?" Yeah, you know what I mean?
Or you can.
Well,
and you lay it like Compa was saying. You lay it right next to Lamborghini.
Yeah,
so a '63 Impala convertible, just like Compa's, and put it right next to the Lamborghini.
So what I mean by that is if you go by yourself. But if you got like 10 motherfuckers with you and you're being loud and obnoxious, and a lot of the times you don't know what the other guys are doing. You know what I mean? Like when you go by yourself,
because obviously you never get that.
Fuck no. Hell no. I'm a fucking gentleman,
That's the best trait.
You know what? You know, personally for me, it's happened a few times where I actually, you know, downtown, I've rolled up next to a Rolls Royce and shit, and you know, just stopped at the stoplight at the same time, and it's like guy's just chilling in this Rolls Royce, and I'm just like, drop it, and just like started like, fuck it, let's do it. So I fucking start hopping him, you know. Yeah. And everybody's like, fuck yeah.
No one even sees the Rolls Royce anymore.
No, and the girl on the passenger side starts opening her window.
Hey, have you ever hung out with Compa? Have you ever cruised with him?
Not cruised with them. Not in the car.
I went to his house recently, probably a couple months ago, huh? And we took a little cruise down fucking Sunset Cliffs and all that shit. Man, he's on the switch. He is on the switch, dude, the whole fucking time.
I didn't
That's
realize
badass.
that. I didn't realize.
No,
that.
you are.
No.
He does-
And then see over there, it's nice. It was just me
Look
and him.
who's talking.
I was afraid he was going to be on my bumper.
Yeah.
I saw his headlights
No, but
already on the top.
It's actually it's a good feeling to see him still enjoy the shit as much as I do. You know what I mean? And it's like I said earlier. It's like a timeless classic, dude. It's fucking it's
Old school.
yeah, dude. I've hung out with him. We stayed at the Marriott a couple years ago, huh?
Yeah.
And valet parked the fucking cars, or no, not necessarily valet, but we had like a
parked them in
special
there.
parking and shit. And the next morning, woke up hungover and shit. He took me to a nice ass little spot where we ate. Whole time, dude, he's on a switch. Badass.
Hey, as long as the batteries are charged, fuck it.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We only live once.
That's right. Are you planning on building another car anytime soon, or are you ya estuvo?
No, ya estuvo. Viejito.
No?
Yeah, working on a house now, so, but I'm still there.
What about you, George?
Yeah,
I know you're probably gonna build something else.
64.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah.
Hard top or convertible?
Wait. So who's this gonna be?
Oh, shit.
Is that for you?
Oh,
or-
shit. Oh,
But
shit.
that's gonna be for you, huh? Because Weda's gonna have the 58.
Nah, 64 for Weta.
Huh? Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
80.
I said, man, I seen there I like hard tops too. Like I ain't mad at them at all. Like I still love, convertibles are cool. They're I love them too. But I think aesthetically, visually, if you take the money out of it, they're both fucking beautiful cars.
They
you know.
both have beautiful
yeah,
styles.
yeah.
If I could
Body
touch on
style.
that, I would say, like when we went to Arizona, we had George's car and Puppet's car. They're both 58 rags, and Chewy's car is a hardtop,
That
but
black one.
he's accessoried the fuck out every accessory possible known to that car, and honestly, that thing is beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter whether it's a hardtop, as long
That's
as
what I'm
it's
saying.
built right.
And the beautiful thing about his car is that it's original.
Mhm.
Everything is like, nothing's chrome. Everything's
Right.
OG.
Yeah.
It's
No.
just, it's lifted, but it's OG.
What I mean to say by that is that I think when building a car, as long as it's built right, it doesn't fucking matter what it is, as long as it's, because that's going to speak for itself, I think. My personal opinion.
Right. No, you're right.
It could be a fucking G-body sitting next to a 57 rag. If that 57 rag, has rust coming out of the bottom and this G-body is just fucking to the T, like, what are you going to look at? The rust on the 57 rag or the detail on the G-body? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. And when you were asking earlier about the standard for the club, I think that's one of the standards, is just being a well-built car. Not only, I think when people build a car these days for like a show and shit like that, they go all out to what a judge wants to see. I think what we want to see is just something super fucking clean, where you're gonna get noticed no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the standard.
Well, and the good thing about that is that, you know what? Everybody builds their car to who they are. Everybody's individual. So you get a car, but you build it the way you want. It'll stand out. If you want to go show it somewhere, they're going to say, well, it represents that person that built the car. How much detail you put in that car shows who you are.
Yeah.
So
what's next for the clickers?
George.
I mean, George finished his car. He's a whole new dude.
He's taking a break right
you
now.
Look at him. Like I seen him today.
He's
when he
enjoying
pulled
it.
up, he looked relaxed. He looked like there was a big old weight lifted off of his shoulders. Like I seen it like last year. It was almost done. Almost done. Like it
Went to
looked
my house.
real close to done.
You
Like,
should
a
have
couple
seen him
times.
this past weekend, dude.
he was in heaven.
Fucking when we left that cruise, I think that was the most rewarding shit for him, dude.
Relax.
Yeah. How'd it run?
Fucking hauling ass.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mick, too.
Yeah.
A fucking car haul ass and everything.
What do you have in it? It's a LS?
LS1.
Just goes.
Dude, he was smashing. And you should have
Yeah.
seen the smile on his face.
I was happy. I think
It's good to be. It's
sex.
good to be out of the back seat of somebody else's
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Like be out there.
Even my wife was like, "Man, look at him, dude. He looks so happy and shit." And yeah, dude, that shit showed, dude. It was good.
Now we got like
that's nice.
those 50 cents. They should come. That's the next people should be coming up.
All of them.
Yeah,
They're all
we
being
wanna-
done at the same time.
Yeah, 557 racks. And then Tony got another one. Then we got the kid with 63 rack.
You got that the Perros 59.
Oh, we got better 59 though.
Perros 59.
That's
Is,
a badass
yeah,
car
that's
too.
a crazy car, bro.
Yeah,
Sick.
you gotta keep building something because later on people are cripping on you, and then you go to the bottom, then you go up. You gotta be on top,
Keep up.
and you gotta hit the next people.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys have been able to maintain that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. So is there any shows or plans or anything, any places guys can see your cars this summer? What are you guys gonna do?
But it all depends on COVID,
And what
unfortunately.
happens, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything's depending on that.
Yeah.
What's available.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
we'll see.
mean, I would like to do a legacy show.
that was a nice show. I like that.
That
because-
I was gonna say, yeah.
Thank you.
Because I like
appreciate
that show because, be honest, it's like lowrider. They're cool. Everybody's cool, but stay in your own lane. Like your show, you gotta be invited to a show. You just want top nice cars.
Yeah.
If you want to see junk, I'm not trying to talk shit.
You
bro.
can talk shit. That's,
No, no,
that's why
bro.
we're here.
That's what
Talk
this is
shit's
about.
okay.
No, you
It's
know
okay.
what, homie?
I'll back it up.
Nah, if you want to see shit like that, homie, go to a cruise or go kick back. You go to a show like I tell these people, they want to go to the show they're doing. Del Mar, what's that show? The Good Guys?
All the good guys.
You know those white people that come with some nice hot rods. We're coming over here with some junk, 520s that you can see the wires and shit like that. Come on, homie.
Hanging
Pick
hoses
the
and
best
shit.
out of 10. They will take like 10 best ass cars.
Yeah.
And that's it. Why my car didn't make it? Homie, look at your car, homie. Don't ask nobody.
Right.
That's why I like your show.
Thank you.
Nothing but classic cars.
Thank you.
homie.
I appreciate that, and that's
and,
kind of
and people get kind of mad. Oh, it's not that, homie. Stay in your lane, homie. They're gonna do quinceañeras and go to that. For real, homie.
you may be able to graduate to legacy one day.
Look at that.
Real,
Stick to the
yeah.
quinceañeras.
Hey,
Exactly.
so when you did legacy, you told every club, bring the 5
Not
top
5.
cars of your
I left
club.
it to the club.
Yeah.
Represent.
Yeah.
Represent.
And you club don't got 5 badass cars. Don't go.
Well, you ain't
So-
invited then.
Right. So
Don't
and
talk
that was
shit.
the thing too. The people that were upset or not happy or what did you call it? Crybaby. Cry, but maybe because your cars aren't up to Klique
par.
standards, Majestic standards,
Yeah.
like the Southside standards. The people that were there that were invited, and it's a representation of the culture. It's an invitational show. I try to do the best of the best, and I believe less is more. Sometimes, like being able to really stand back, appreciate the car, have some space for the car, be able to like take pictures of the car, as opposed to going. I would rather go to a show with 100 fucking badass cars than 300 cars and 50 badass cars mixed in amongst those 300 cars, and the 300 cars are packed where you can't open your fucking door,
Right.
or you're standing in line for fucking 3 hours trying to get your shit into the show, and then you get into the show and they don't even know where the fuck you're gonna park, and pendejada, that's disrespectful. Because I think there's dudes that will build their cars, clean their cars for fucking 3 weeks, detail it, fucking get it all sick to be hidden in some fucking corner somewhere, or not being able to show your car, to show your car correctly. That is not to say anything. That's not Chicano Park. Chicano Park's another animal. Chicano Park is Chicano Park. Like that's, to me, that's just an amazing show. But I've been to shows that are set up this way, and I just think it's disrespectful to the owners of the cars.
Correct.
Because you show up, these dudes are showing up with $100,000, $200,000 cars, $25,000, $30,000 paint jobs, and this door, he might get a door ding from his club member or the guy from the other club.
Gotta give them the room. Gotta give us the room.
Yeah.
And not
Display
only
the
that,
cars, curate the show. And
Exactly.
that's kind of like what I try to do with the shows that I'm involved with, is they're curated shows. That means the shows
Spaced
are
out.
set up. And Johnny helps me curate some of these shows, and David the Baca helps me. And we'll lay out the cars. Like, okay, well, these are the Klique cars. Or we'll go, okay, this is where the 50 whatever cars are. So we'll set up the show so it's
Spread
visually,
out,
yeah,
spread
and
out.
people have rooms, and then we try to go, okay, and then this is where their cars are going to be, and this is where they can kick back,
Right.
Try to do it like that. But
Yeah, but you gotta give all the owners of their cars the respect, because everybody put so much sweat, not only the money, but the sweat and effort to put that car together.
and to make it there at fucking 5 or 6 in the morning
It's-
and work on your car for 3 days detailing your car. You want to show up and be like, okay,
You know what? And that's the other thing too, Bobby, that I realized that on a lot of the shows, like the Lowrider magazine show and stuff, they don't give us the respect that we deserve as lowriders, because as Lowrider magazine, it's like, no, we make the show. That's one thing that I've realized over the years, that without lowriders, which is us,
you are the show.
we are the show.
Yeah.
They say, okay, this is the lowrider show, but it's us. If they don't give us the respect that when we're going in and, setting up, it's like, no, don't tell us like this and this. Like, we know what to do. But I realized that before, that, you know what, they don't give us the respect that we deserve, we earned, as far as putting their show for them.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And it's like charging so much
To show your car.
to show our car, and the struggle, getting off work, putting the car, setting up, and then dismantling everything. Okay, we pay them to show the car so they can make the money,
Right. You're right.
and it's
You're
not
right.
fair.
Right. You're absolutely right. And I agree with you 100%.
And they give you a $5 trophy.
Yeah.
Here you go,
And
motherfucker.
you can't have a cooler, you can't have a barbecue, you can't have
Or
a
not
canopy.
even that. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what? It's like, fucking, give us a couple of beers or some shit. Because
Yeah.
we,
Coupons, some shit.
or something, because we put the show for you.
Right. You're absolutely right. And that's what I've always tried to do. When people show up, we try to take care of them with the nice
Oh, you do,
gift
Bobby.
bags and take care of them and offer them, whatever we can in the morning, or drinks or food or whatever. But I agree with you. And there are, it's hard, man, because it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of
I've
work.
never done a show of that magnitude. Like, I could imagine how difficult it is to do, shout out to Torres Empire, because I know that he puts a lot of work and he puts a lot of his personal money into the show, but it's a lot of work. There's a lot of expenses. And me having done the smaller shows that I've done, just what I've encountered with, insurance and security and, people that'll work the show and janitors and, unions and the hall and parking. It's like, it's expensive.
Is it?
Yeah. But you're right though. You're trying to either break even or make figure
Yeah,
out.
and that's the thing, and because I know there's
But
some
that's
vendors.
going back to what you said too. That's one of the beauty of Chicano Park, is just, it's still, for
local.
a spectator, it's local and it's still free. People can walk in and walk around and walk out, and it is what it is. But who knows, man? Like, maybe we'll be able to put our heads together one day and do something. Like do something other than legacy.
I
Like,
think George needs to do that. I've been trying to tell him.
I think you need to get involved and do it too.
I'll fuck with you guys.
All right.
If George is down for it, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down to be involved.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But something different. It's got to be different.
It's got to be something very special.
Yeah.
This-
That's the only way I'll fuck with it.
yeah.
Like that. I like to see this. Some, just me personally. I love the Chicanada and I love the whole scene. I loved it more before than I love it now, but that's a whole other story. But something scenic, finding the right spot. I love invitationals. I don't think it's always important to judge cars.
Right.
I think it's just better for the
Yeah.
community.
And
just to
if
get
there
to
is some kind of judging, like what I try to do is you can do like a celebrity award. You get somebody that's respected in the community. This is what I like. And they give you, or you find ways to make it fun and not so political,
Yeah.
where somebody's looking at every fucking engraving, every fucking, you know, it's there's also, and this is something, you know, I won't mention the cars, but there's cars out there that have won shit in the past that don't have a lot of class, or they don't have, they're just doing every fucking possible thing they can to get points, but their colors are all wrong, or the car just doesn't look classy, but it's got everything it needs to do to make the points, and it wins. And this guy right here built the classiest fucking car, and this fucking ugly car, because it's got every possible point. And I get that, but
that goes back to what I said earlier about us putting these cars away and then bring that pile of shit out 10 years from now, and it's gonna be like, oh, you don't have this, now you're not gonna win. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the times, I don't think we focus on that shit. I don't think George focused on. There's not a one fucking single piece of engraving on his car.
Yeah,
and it's fucking just as beautiful as
original. That's what makes it stands out.
Yeah. But is there they? I don't know the point system right now, because I don't really care.
Yeah, who gives
but
a shit?
what
Exactly.
Is there a engraving category on the judges' scorecard now?
Yeah, they do give you some points.
Is it called engraving?
Yeah.
Really?
What about one called class? or one called style? Because here's the thing, and I've said this before, and I've said it to you know, friends of mine that are judges, that are good friends of mine, and I go, what about just, if you're a judge, then you're a judge because hopefully people respect you and you've been in it long enough to know. The judge should be able to say, you know what, here's a category, this is my category, I'm going to call this is what I like.
Right.
And that should have just as much weight as the fucking engraving or chrome or interior or paint. Because the judge can say, you know what, all these guys got points, but this car is way fucking prettier. Beautiful fucking car, but he doesn't have all the...
When I went to Phoenix, they had another show. It was like a picnic show. And then they give you the best car, the cleanest car.
Yeah.
The show.
You got it.
I got that one. But another car beat me because suicide doors and patterns and all that. Custom.
Yeah.
Well, the cleanest car, it was me.
So that's what I'm saying. Those, and maybe it was the same car, I don't know. But there's pendejadas out there that it's like, yeah, but like, really? Like, but it's, I don't know. But that's kind of why I'm not a huge fan of points and those types of judge shows. I think if, you know, like, I'd like to get like a celebrity to show up, you know, like maybe Sendog or some friend of mine to show up and go like, hey, what car you like the best? And he walks around, and these dudes grew up around lowriders and they know cars, and I like this one. Dale, ganaste.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Somebody that doesn't really know.
And that's something to be proud of too. You know what? This celebrity came by, he looked at the whole fucking car show, and he liked my car the best. Thank you. There's something, and it's just something fun and different to do, because God bless those dudes that are out there trying to count points. Like
takes forever.
I was talking to Mike the other day, Mike D, and he has to judge a lot of these fucking cars, and I asked him, I go, hey Holmes, I go, so do dudes get pissed off? Like if you just look at their car real quick and then you keep walking? He goes, yeah, guys get all burnt out. Yeah. Like they come and yell at me like, hey, you better look at my car. And he goes, really? Well, if I looked at every car for a half hour, we'd be here for 3 weeks because there's fucking 400 cars.
Yeah, right. Well, because that's when I noticed that as soon as we started driving back in the day and set it up for the shows, you know, the judges will start judging right away, even if you didn't display, because they knew, like you said, Bobby, that there's so many cars they got to get through and just start giving points.
Yeah.
But if you didn't display or show your trunk or your hood and the interior, well, that's where some people will say, hey, wait a minute, you didn't judge me for this.
And then the thing that trip off the most, you go see your car. There's some people that bring the whole fucking swap meet. They put it in front of their car. So I hate that shit. You know what I mean?
The whole swap meet.
For real. So I thought your car.
Aquí está. It's the center door.
Right here around the corner.
Fuck.
You follow me, Bobby? It's just like,
Yeah.
Dude, it's
But sometimes, bro, and this is me again being whatever the fuck I am and who the fuck am I? I'm just gonna tell you what I think. Sometimes to me, cars look better with their doors closed, their hood closed, their trunk closed, just laid out.
Yeah.
Like let's just fucking así bonitas. Like,
see, it's like Mighty just my car. Y'all won first place. Y'all don't even ask him why you boo me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Some like you were talking about, like people cry and asking, well, hey, what I did or how I did it. I didn't even ask them a word. Just got my shit and that's it.
Yeah.
Don't argue.
Yeah.
That's it. Keep it simple.
but at the end of the day, I don't think you would have given a fuck anyways.
Right.
Nah.
Because you know your car.
Yeah.
We've seen your car.
Exactly.
These dudes know your car. You already know what you got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know the fucking struggles and everything, and you know you fucking got on the freeway and hauled ass.
Yeah,
and
we
you
got
just had a good
after
time.
show, asked Tony, we jumped in the freeway, went to a cruise, we were having fun for a while.
Hey, that cruise. How long was that motherfucker?
That was badass. Like Highland back in the day.
Dude,
Yeah.
but not only that, this motherfucker was like 2 miles long, dude. No lie. What fucking street was that? It was an AZ. Fuck, I forget what the fuck street it was, dude. This motherfucker was long, dude. It was like when Highland used to start at Division,
Yeah,
at the car
30.
wash, all the way to the fucking the 54, like
Yeah.
that long, dude. And the whole way, dude, bumper to bumper, like fucking crazy.
This was
dude.
after the show.
After
Yeah, this
the
was
show.
after the show. Immediately after show, we packed all our shit, put all the things in the trailers. Everybody fucking hitched their trucks and all that
Did
shit.
you guys drive home that night, or you drove home the
Nah.
next day?
Oh, I stayed to the old show.
Yeah.
He did the shit. This fucker's crazy. He stayed the next day and actually
He was
went
on
to
cloud nine.
Fuck yeah, he
This
was.
dude, like, he was in celebration
Yeah,
mode.
yeah.
He
Yep.
was like, "Fuck that!"
I'm telling you,
Watch
my
out.
wife had told, she's like, dude, did you see George's face, man? That fucker's happy, dude.
Well deserved, George.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
He's doing like 60 and a 25, dude. That motherfucker, that shit hauls, man. That fucking car's bad. That car not only looks nice.
So
dude,
we
but
looking for a 64? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's what we're getting
Okay,
next.
I'll keep my eyes open. Lo que sale.
Lo que sale un yonke.
Nice. Why not?
Yeah, I'm gonna fix it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Anyway.
And 4s are
Yeah.
a lot easier than 8s to build.
Yeah.
Any 3, I mean, except for the 63.
63, right.
Hey, compa. Tone and I have one too.
I know,
So all
I
of
know.
us,
Hey,
like, we're
if
all
I,
kings.
hey, if I don't flip him off, hey, he doesn't. He won't realize.
No,
I love
I
him.
wasn't. I wasn't. The,
You can flip me off too. It's all good.
I don't want 63 right.
It's all love in here.
They're like taxes.
They're like, what?
Tactic.
Why not?
Exactly. Fuck.
So I have a question. So Klique San Diego is the longest running car club in San Diego that's never like disbanded or anything like that, right?
No, we never did.
No.
Yeah, that's like mad respect right there because you know when you get a group of guys together, especially knuckleheads, like there's always politics, disagreements and stuff. So to be able to stick together since like 75.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we actually had a really downfall. I mean, we thought at a time where my chapter was struggling a lot, financially wise, that we were going to break, and it's like everybody was going their own way for a while, but there was only a few of us that kind of stuck together, and then, other guys started coming in and building the club again. And then that's where we kind of passed the torch on, and George was the guy that, came in and started building Klique again, I kind of hung in there. Carlos hung in there, and, Oscar and Chato, but, George kind of took it to the next level.
Salud, George.
Yeah.
Salud.
Yeah.
That's a lot of respect because everyone in the lowrider community, we know who's who. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, somebody may buy a ride. First time it breaks down, they sell it because they know it breaks down all the
Yeah,
time.
we always
you know
break
what
down.
I mean? And they don't know how to fix it. They don't want to fix it. They don't have the passion to fix it, to keep going. And we all know who's who. You know what I mean? Despite trophies, despite what points you get,
Exactly, Danny.
we all respect each other because we all know each other, and we all appreciate the work that it takes to put the money and time and all that into our rides. And Klique at least for myself, you know, we know what kind of rides you guys bring out. It's like the cleanest in San Diego. I mean, obviously with like his ride and 58 caliber, it's just.
And your car, compa.
In the 63 convertible.
Thank you for throwing me in there.
We, you know, the respect that earns from other lowriders is what I think, at least for me personally, is what I look for.
That's right.
Because
what?
we know what it takes.
And you're right, because you know what, when we drive around, and you know, I drive around personally, and it's like the respect is there, because you know what, making the eye contact when you drive by, and it's like the nod the head down, it's like, you know what, respect, compa.
And the other thing too is tone, making noise. Like that's badass. To me, I love that. Like
he's Klique number one, desmadroso.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
Yeah, in the car and out of the car.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But
Yeah.
who
If it
else like has an Impala that is clean as hell? Well, the 62, you don't have it no more, but like clean as fuck and still fucking shit up. Like to me, totally. That's like badass.
You know, if they know, everybody knows that. You know what, Klique has the desmadroso, but a clean desmadroso that, you know, he don't give a shit. He'll tear his shit up and he will show you who's.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I respect a lot about Tone is this motherfucker don't care.
No, he doesn't.
His car, that Deuce was clean as fuck, and he didn't care.
No,
he'll fucking swing that thing until it just fucking
break
breaks
apart.
wherever. Yeah.
Until it flips over.
And who else does that?
Nobody.
We'll be out the next weekend.
Yeah, and that's the reason why, because Tony, you know, that's what a lowrider is. Because you know what, you will take your car to the limit, and if it breaks, you know what, go fix it, and he'll fix it. That's what a lowrider is. Not like, oh fuck, it broke, it's not gonna be out for a couple of months, I'm gonna have to take it to the shop.
Yeah.
No, it'll be out next week with Tony.
Yes, sir.
Or fix it out front, right? Remember?
Hey, I broke down one day in downtown, and luckily I was with Chucky and a couple other guys, and it's fucking. We had just got out of a bar, so mind you, we might have had
no, not a bar, not Tony
club, whatever. And yeah, the shit broke. 3-wheeled it, fixed it on site. Dipped out. The police stopped by to see if we were okay. Obviously we weren't, but we were, and we drove off. But I drove it home.
You had it on 3-wheel while you were fixing it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I remember
that's how it broke. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
That's a shit.
That's a lowrider right there.
What were you going to say, Josh?
Yeah, the thing trips me out too. I look at everything, like the old people being in the game, they're a bunch of haters too. Let Tony shine now. Back in the days, I used to have $5 million. Now I only got $2 in my pocket. That's fucking future, man.
Yeah.
Go hating, homie. You haven't been in the street for a long time. Oh, we should do that. We should do that. Look, that was back in the days, homie.
Yeah.
Now the kind of shave out there in the bottom. You know what I mean, homie? That was back in the days, homie.
Ya sabemos que está enfermo aquí.
Nice comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Times were different.
Yeah, but
Let's talk about Afro pussy.
this is now, homie. The old school guys, I think, I feel it, they hate on the new people.
Some of them.
Some. And just let it go. You did it in your time. Now these new kids, they don't cruise like we used to do it.
This motherfucker does, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they still hate on motherfuckers like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a new chapter.
It's a new blood. Let the new blood get over, homie.
Yeah.
You used to be the president. You should have did it on your time, the way you wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, now it's our turn to fucking do it how we do it. And like Compa George come to the club, never talk shit. And what you guys need, guys? Here, boom. My respect to Compa George. He still got a fucking car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the way it should be. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers that talk about people that don't even got a car.
Yeah. There's a lot of motherfuckers like that. They'll talk a lot of shit about this car, that car, what you got, what you don't got. Where's your fucking car?
For real, homie.
Shut the fuck up. When's the last time you drove anything?
Anything, homie.
Right.
For real.
But it's just the way that it is. Just trying to. I've always tried to keep my shit out, just ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, if I gotta pull it out, it's ready to go. Like, and if it's not, then I don't sleep. Like
Homie.
if I know if it's not a project, if it's a project, then it's a project. 'Cause
Right.
That's, trying to finish this one right now, but
One time we were at the clubhouse. And some fools from LA came and shit like that. We were drinking. They would say, "Would you call that, George? It's up the pad. You want to see it? Yeah." Call my lady. My lady drove my fucking car to the fucking clubhouse.
Nice.
That's it, homie.
Yeah.
You gotta have your car
ready to go.
homie.
Hell yeah.
be ready
Like
to go.
that, homie. No pinches manas que turn it to the left. Pup, 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 pup.
Yeah,
I think he's bagging on this, dog.
Well, it was one.
Yeah, it's
Papa,
like,
pinche perrodera.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
what kind of exhaust did you put on that?
I don't even know. Dude.
An expensive one.
Yeah, I went to some white guys.
about to put a
You know what
in
this
the truck.
motherfucker
I don't know what
does?
the
When
fuck
he
to
goes
put.
somewhere to get some shit for his car, he's like, "Hey, how much does that one cost?" And they're like, "Oh, well, which is the most expensive?"
Yeah,
Like,
the best.
let me get that one. Like, nigga, you didn't even know what it sounded like? Nah, I just put the most expensive.
Because I don't know what the fuck.
You know what he paid for his fucking radiator? Whose phone is that?
Not mine.
Not mine.
That's yours.
Oh, shit. Why am I all mad?
He's yelling
Oh
at
shit!
people.
Yo, Tony, get that shit done.
What did you pay for it?
Paga esa madre.
That's not mine.
It is yours.
Oh, shit. All right. Sorry, guys. This fool paid like
bro.
$3,000 for his fucking radiator. Can you believe that shit?
$3,000, compa?
I don't want to be like Pelon. Pelon's a bad fucking car.
Yeah, it is.
50
And
caliber.
I know that you were right there.
Yeah,
by his side.
Pelon
You
is
helped
fucking.
him. Like,
Pelon is bad
Yeah.
too.
no, that motherfucker. Like I said, dude,
Yeah.
and I've said it. That's probably that was the baddest car that I've seen in San Diego ever.
That's
in a
what I
long
told my
time.
members. I'm not being a hater. It's like one of the other guys, Negros, is doing his fucking setup. Do a setup better than mine and better than Tony. Everybody does better and better. That's
Right.
the way we're gonna shine.
That's
We're
beautiful.
not hating on
Different.
nobody.
Different.
Just keep that standard.
And
real
it's
high.
not easy to do.
Right.
Look at fucking this guy's trunk.
Yeah, but we got two guys that come with two trucks. Beat Tony, beat Mines,
Right.
beat Puppets.
And I think that's a beautiful thing because like with George, he'll come to the house and he'll see something and he'll say, "Hey, like, you see this shit right here? You should fix this so that you don't have to see this." I'm like, I don't take it as a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's love. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, I
Help
think
out.
that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Pointing
Like
out.
setting a standard is
Help you
is,
out.
is right. Is to help one and not only that, man, he fucking built the sickest car. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Out of all of us. Like, that's inspiration. We should take that as an inspiring us to do better.
Right.
And I don't see that as a bad thing.
Hell
a
no.
lot of people
Not
may
when you're in the same club. It should never
right,
be
exactly.
taken that way.
Exactly.
Especially when it's coming from your prez.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and then what
Just
I
to help
love too,
out.
Bobby, like, when everybody's building badass cars, tienes un cabezón. You follow me?
Yeah.
If the guy wants to leave, go ahead and leave. I got 5 members that building the same cars.
Right.
He don't
Yeah.
got us by the balls no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm happy Puppets is right there, Conejo, everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're going to build cars, build better than mine and
Right.
build better than Tony's, and I want to leave, so what? The other kid is building a better car than you.
Yeah.
Why, homie?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they got this guy only the top notch, everybody sucking his dick.
Yeah.
And everybody got nice cars. We don't care, you don't make it.
Yeah.
We got some nice cars.
You're
you know?
right.
Because the good thing about Klique, we're not haters against each other. We're like the family. It's la familia.
Yeah.
And we're always, like Tony said, we take criticism in our club, like helping out. Órale, cabrón. Chingale aquí, se te faltó acá y esto y eso. But it's a family
Tony,
thing.
did you understand that?
I don't speak the Mexican, but yeah. I got green eyes, dog. What you want me to do?
You have to speak to him in Ebonics.
Tiene un pinche nopal en la frente. Chinga, no va a entender.
Hey, no, real shit though. Touching back on what compa was
you're
talking
right.
about earlier,
You're right, compa.
with George bringing it to the next level. When I started coming around, George wasn't even from Klique yet.
No.
And we would hang out with them on the sidelines.
Yeah,
Remember that shit?
Yeah.
And
No
yeah,
shit.
that was a long time ago. Yeah, before
Because I remember the day they handed you your plaque. We were right there at the stadium.
The
right.
stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, even before
No.
George even
Before George?
before
shit.
George even started, before George was in the club,
Yeah.
I've known George that long, so we used to hang out like on the sidelines, like fucking everywhere, dude. It was.
You guys live kind of close to each other too. You guys live kind of in the same area.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's
it. So you're on cookies every once in a while.
But my point with that was that he built it from pretty much from scratch, because at the time when he came in, there wasn't really a whole lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Not to bag on the club, but to say that, you know, he did build this shit up, and it's had its moments, man. There's been stages to this shit. There was a point where I was supposed to come in, and I ended up selling the 64 that I had, and I kind of backed out, and I know he was mad at me about it, but I was like, man, I'm not going to come in the club without a fucking car, you know, and that's when I had sold my 64 to buy my 63, and I was like, if I come, I want to come correct, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not that my 64 wasn't up to par, but I just, for some stupid-ass reason, I wanted a rag back then. And not that, you know, I regret that shit, but I just want to give him props for doing what he's done, and to continue to keep building, you know what I'm saying, despite all the downfalls and all the weird shit that's happened throughout the years.
And motivating you guys.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
he's been there.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
without a car, fucking, you know what I'm saying?
At the same time, George, your ass, like, what the fuck you just finished, like, your shit and everybody else's shit, and keeping everybody's shit tight, like, like what Johnny was saying, like, you guys bring some of the best, you know, and that's commendable. And it, like you said, it's if that came, and I don't know the history of the whole club. I know Klique's been around ever since I can remember. I remember going to shows and dances and all the stuff in
Paul
the 80s
Blair
and
down
the corner
downtown,
shows, you know, like behind San Diego High School and doing all that kind of stuff, and the hypes and the Paul Blair dances at the El Cortez and shit, all that. Well, actually, my wife was just talking about that the other day. She was talking about, remember we went to that card club dance, and I wore this dress, and we took pictures, and I'm like, yeah,
how time flies, Bobby.
Of course I remember, you know,
but this is a new chapter.
Yeah.
The new chapter for Klique has put the bar so high.
Yeah.
So high.
Absolutely. And that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know what's in the future and how anybody's going to go beyond El Maton or 58 caliber and, you know, doing and seeing and your 63 is going, but all jokes aside, Tony's right. Like, what you've built is timeless. And those cars, I think, are some of the most important cars in the scene too, because those are the ones that are going to be looked at always as, like, it looks pretty much the same way it did when it was in the Tribal video in 92,
right,
or 93.
Right. And you know what? George Babas has built the same thing. Now he has built something for 2021.
You're right.
That is timeless
and classy as fuck.
Classic. So now,
you think of that all yourself?
That's another. That's another hurdle. That's another hurdle that somebody has to jump over in the next 10 years, because it's been built with class, and a lot of people don't have that.
You're right.
Class.
That's kind of like what I was saying earlier about these cars, these cars that are winning some of these shows that have no class, no style. They look like kind of borderline.
Because you know what?
Piñatas.
Yeah, piñatas, payasadas.
Like, exactly. You know what? If they put way too much glitter onto a car, the car doesn't shine. You leave the car what it's supposed to be in its era.
Yeah.
A 58, just a beautiful paint job. Outstanding paint job, original. Modify the engine, lift it.
¿Quién lo pintó?
That's it.
Chevy shop.
The Chevy shop.
Yeah.
Beautiful color too.
So that's another hurdle.
Man.
Some people don't like the color.
Yeah, I hear some people saying they don't like the color.
You know what I say? Fuck them. How could you not? That's a beautiful color. It's kind of it's got a little bit of a touch of purple in there.
Yeah, that's
somewhere.
what a lot of people told me.
I see a little touch of like a lavender purple. At first, I kind of like the color of my 59 is like a lighter blue, like a frosty blue. Yours is it kind of I see like a little bit of it's bad. Is that a custom? That's a custom color, right?
Nah, we got it. I think
You don't have to tell anybody. Shh.
no, fucking BMW.
Oh, it's a BMW color.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
my lady got it.
We all know where.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up.
Also too,
Wait, well, no, we're not.
like I want to say, my first cruise in a lowrider, it was Oscar.
Yeah,
Oscar.
right on. Shout out Oscar. Oscar
Yeah.
helping you with my 59 too.
Yeah, Oscar was the first guy who got me to a lowrider
Right on.
when he had that Thunderbird.
Dale.
You see,
Back
he
in the
was.
day.
A lot of people don't know the history.
Which
Oscar.
Thunderbird was it?
But it's the Rio. What's the club he came from?
Yeah. Don't
You see,
remember.
you see, a lot of people know that
I don't know.
he had a Thunderbird
I didn't know
or
that.
T-Bird or Thunderbird.
Was it an older one or a newer
Thunderbird.
one?
It was back in the day? It was a new one.
77, 78.
Yeah.
I pulled the color of my 63 off of a 77
See?
Thunderbird. Yeah, there was
Oscar take me for a cruise to Golden Hills. Yeah, I was a kid. I was like 14.
probably had like True Rays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
classics.
Oh, shit. True classics.
Yeah.
That's
a
when I
shit.
started.
That's funny. That's
Remind me to
just
give you a
text me
poster
on Instagram.
before we leave. We just did a collabo with True Spoke. I'll give
Did
you
you?
like the poster, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out Oscar. That
Yeah.
he was he helped me a lot with my 59 too.
Oh.
But yeah, that was fuck yeah. I like those 77, 78 T-Birds. One day, I think that would be if I do ever do another build because I'm still trying to finish it. It's close though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Albert D'Alba. It's in
Oh,
his
yeah, he's
hands
a
right
man.
now. So he's got my 47, and I couldn't think of a better man to have it. Honestly, like fuck.
Yeah.
But he saw it and he really likes it, and he's got his head in it now. Like he wants to do some mods that I wasn't even thinking about, and he's like, "Hey, let's do this, let's do that." And
Can I add to
let's
that?
do it. Yeah.
They're doing my 64 whether they like it or not.
Oh. Hey, little Al. Yeah. Shout out to the D'Albas. Like those dudes, man. Like some of the most. They're the baddest. Like fuck, dude. I can't say enough about those.
So
That'll
they-
be a whole other episode. We'll let them do that one.
They were scheduled to do the moonroof on my car, and then I hit him in the morning. I'm like, hey, why don't you guys just build the whole car? I mean, paint the whole car. And he's like, oh, well, you know, I know they're busy as fuck.
Yeah.
But I was
There's
like,
they don't have room.
no, they don't have.
That's what he said.
So I don't care.
It'll happen.
It's staying there.
Just tell them to take my spot, so they'll get when mine comes out. You could come in. Yeah. But yeah, trying that. I'm hopefully like I don't know. It could be 3 months. It could be 6 months. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Could
Wow.
be.
Yeah.
Could be more. Could be less. I'm not pushing.
He was coming out next week for like 6 years.
And there you are. That's an example, Bobby. Hey,
This one's taken a lot longer than I thought because I'm really trying to do something different with this one. Like the rest of them were kind of this has clean, subtle mods that only like certain people will notice. But I'm excited about it.
Hell yeah.
I'm talking about it too much.
you know what? The excitement thing is about when you go over there and look at it, the progress that it has. Every time you go over there, it's a little progress, and you're happy to see the car moving forward. Like God, the excitement builds
Yep.
up.
Well, you're exactly right, and especially when Dane, shout out to my homie Dane, came and we took it to the D'Albas, and we took it, and then they started really digging into it and looking at it and seeing where it's at, and seeing Albert's eyes light up and his head getting into it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in trouble now.
Did he mention anything about your airbags?
He did, and I think we're probably gonna take him out.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
You're lying.
No, really.
For
I told
real?
him, look at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Bobby,
tell him to
take
listen
those
can
to
I
it.
ask you a question?
You could ask me whatever the fuck you want.
What kind of club you want to be?
What kind of what?
A club you will be.
What kind of club?
Would you like to be in?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man.
San Diego.
Here's the thing, is I joined group in '82.
Yeah.
I was an original member from San Diego, one of the original
Yeah.
members from the San Diego chapter. I've got a lot of respect for some of the OGs. I know. Shout out Danny Boy from East LA. Rest in peace, Joey. Abeta, like some of the dudes from LA, and then the guys from San Diego. When I joined that club, it was a good time. It was a good time in my life. They, Pineapple, a lot of good times. We did a lot of really fun, cool shit. And I think your club might be the same way. When you join a club, you say, when you leave this club, don't join another club. Like, this is respect. Like, this is kind of an oath that you take when you join the club. And I took it. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to join another club. I respect you guys that much. I got my plaque. Still got my plaque. The guys, I got an open door with the group guys from San Diego. I mean, I don't see them much. I don't, shout out to the homie Jose. He's the one that, Coronado, good fucking dude, man. Real fucking good dude. And they've always had my back. Anytime I hit them up, call them, whatever it is, they're good dudes. So I took that. And I kind of took it serious. Like, I think it's, but then again, me being in the position that I'm in and understanding some of the local politics, and if I become Bobby Tribal from Klique, or if I become Bobby Tribal from Amigos or whatever club, and homie, like, in all honesty, I have great friends from all the clubs.
Hey, dude.
Like, I have really, really, like, Rigo, Victor Cordero, I've known those dudes since I was in fucking junior high school. You guys, I love you guys. Like, you guys are great friends. The guys from Majestics, I've got good friends there too. So if I were to join a club and I do a show, and I would be, I don't want those politics. But I'm Bobby Tribal, like I
that's even better.
You're neutral. Thank you, I appreciate that. But I try to remain neutral. And if I was to do this podcast, for example, and I was in a car club and I invited the other car clubs to do it, they might be, that Bobby, he's from fucking this club, that club, fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
It's true.
But I have respect for everybody, and but I have a lot of respect for you guys. Like, that's why you're sitting here today, is because I can see what you guys have done, what you're doing, what you've done in the. I pay attention, bro. I see what the fuck the Clickers have done in the last 5 years, 6 years. Like, holy fuck. Like, you guys have, and I didn't really notice it as much as I probably should have until Tone just mentioned it. But Baba's brought the club back around. Like, you were the one that, like, pushed these people and built the club back up and got these guys to do what they're doing to
motivate them.
But you're right. I see what you've done too, because you guys were bam, super blast, fuck, Klique San Diego's on fire, and then quiet. Right. And then now it's like, guess what? These motherfuckers are back.
We've been working.
Yeah, they've been working on cars, and they're coming back, and they're back, and they're gonna bring some more fire. And it's a beautiful thing. Plus, it when I was in the car club, to be completely honest, it was. I have too many other commitments. I want to keep my wife happy. I got responsibilities here. I got responsibilities at home. I have the guys from Elite. Yeah. Like, those, that's family too. Like Albert, the Albas are like, you too, those dudes as well as I do. Like good fucking people, I couldn't, cause at the same time, or, viejitos, like Johnny and Renee, and so, but you guys can walk Chicano Park the same as me, and you got friends from all the clubs too. Like, I know Compa does, and you do, and
they're all brothers.
And and you know what I think of when I say that is, well, going back to that morning at Chicano Park. Yeah. That's fucking golden. Yeah. That's golden. If you grew up in San Diego and you're in the lowrider scene, your golden hour is probably between 7 and 8 a.m. Chicano Park Day. Right. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
A huevo.
Right? That's like, what gets better than that?
Okay, that motherfucker's cool, yep.
Like, what's better than that? Nada, right? Nada. And then except for when these fucking guys show.
Hey, le están ganando las pinches gallinas a esos cabrones.
I haven't gone to the well, I've been to the show every year because that's my favorite too. The two events is the Big Three and Chicano Park Day. Big Three's gone now, which sucks.
Because Chicano Park, when you drive up Crosby, down Crosby, like vienen con sus pinches serenatas. Hasta los pinches gallos, los gallos se asustan, estos cabrones.
Well, I park on Logan now, so I'm outside the show. So.
Hey, but what would it be without them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be like, wait, you'd be there.
But
like,
it's
what the
San
fuck's
Diego,
missing?
No,
San Diego
but-
history.
yeah.
Everybody's got their.
It's tradition though,
Yeah,
but it's become a tradition, and that's part of the beauty of it. You know, all like I said, all jokes aside, it wouldn't be the same if these fuckers weren't showing up.
Yeah, they scare the
waking
shit
up
out of you. You're
roosters.
having a cup of coffee, waiting in line, and like in the back of you, like.
But it is
It's all
what it
good.
is, and where else
It's part
do
of
you
it.
get that?
Yeah, it's
you know
part
what I
of.
mean?
It's part of
Yeah.
Chicano Park.
Yeah, it's a good thing, and hopefully we'll get back to Chicano. But I'll tell you what, I'll release a little secret right now. Yes, I am working on something, another legacy type show in 2022. 2021 is a little early for it. This will be bigger. I'm sticking to the invitational thing. Chiones, crybabies, step aside or step your game up,
Yeah,
Exactly.
straight up.
and it'll be an invitational show. And curated show once again, but I can't speak a lot on it because I believe in jinxes. I don't want to jinx the shit, but if it all goes as planned, it will be bigger, better. Yeah, but I'm gonna wrap this up. Are you guys good?
We're good.
Good.
Johnny, be good.
Thanks for having
No.
us.
SD Tone,
Yes, sir.
George, El
Good.
Maton, fucking Silent George, Babas. That's right. Congratulations, man.
Thank
You're
you.
Good ass dude, Compa George.
Gracias.
Lower Left Podcast, 17th and Island, San Diego, right here, and we're out.